Long before the witches appeared in the world, even before the conjunction of the spheres and the appearance of elves and dwarfs, there lived a woman called the Lady of the Forest. Enigmatic as the very sense of existence, she knew things that others were not even aware of. But she still wanted more and more knowledge. The desire to understand the nature of all things has turned to madness. She traveled all over the world in search of answers. She read all the letters and books given to her. She had learned everything magic and life could hide, but she felt more empty than ever before. She still did not understand the sense of existence. She also lost faith in her own existence. At that moment, a miracle happened. Conjunction of the spheres, new life forms, and even more powerful magic. If you like our videos, subscribe to the channel and write a comment. It helps us create better and better content. None of the new creatures resembled the Lady of the Forest herself. The woman saw this loneliness as the cause of her misery. However, the new magic allowed her to bring new creatures to life. She mixed her blood with clay and made 3 daughters in her likeness. The women lived together in Velen. The land was already populated by a young race of people. Those craving answers to a lot of questions turned to the one who knows and began to worship her as a goddess. The Lady of the Forest instructed her daughters to develop their cult among the villagers. Loyalty was rewarded with health and support, and rejection required a sacrifice of a large amount of blood. The peasants had no choice but to bow their necks before the ladies. This involved offering sacrifices on the night of the Sabbath and worshipping them like goddesses. The adoration of the villagers was not enough for long, and the one who knows fell into despair again, and soon afterwards into madness. The power accumulated over the years has defiled all of Velen, and people have abandoned their properties and murdered each other. Chaos reigned throughout the land until the daughters decided to stop their mother's madness and kill her. It happened on the night of the Coven, when people used to make offerings to them. The body was buried in the swamps in the cave under the Whispering Hill. With the blood of a woman, they consecrated the great tree on the bald mountain. The soul of the mother was still very powerful, and the sisters had to use black magic to trap her in the branches of the great oak. The one who knows went into a frenzy, trying as hard as she could to free herself from the magic shackles. Whoever approached the Whispering Hill was attacked by gnarled oak branches. The 3 sisters still live in the Crookback Bog and are beings of extraordinary power and knowledge. Their power is especially connected with the element of earth and water, from which they arose, but they can also do things related to other elements. Above all, they have the ability to polymorph. When meeting their followers, they take the form of beautiful women, while in reality they are hideous witches. They can mark people and subjugate them to their will. A specific mark causes the victim immense pain if they do something against the witch's will. Additionally, the Ladies of the Wood also control the monsters living in the swamps, and even such powerful creatures as fiends respond to their call. The true names of the Ladies of the Wood are unknown, but among the peasants they are known as Wispus, Brewis, and Weavis. Each of them has their individual skills which help them keep Velen in their grasp. Wispus, the oldest of the sisters, required the villagers to sacrifice their ears, which she then hung all over the swamp. Thanks to this, the witches could hear everything that happened in their domain. Brewis, the second oldest and largest, dealt with cooking and could prepare human flesh in dozens of different ways. The flesh helps them maintain their power and longevity. Weavis, the youngest, collects hair gathered during the rite of the first haircut, which involves cutting a 7-year-old boy's hair. After the ceremony, the child passes from the mother's care to the father's authority. Weavis, weaves the hair together, thus binding human fates. She also wove a tapestry from human hair, through which they communicate with the villagers. Sometimes they cast curses on the unfortunate and other times they offer blessings. The local inhabitants have learned not to cross them and to live in accordance with their will. They are credited with removing the deadly Catriona plague from Velen, so they do want their followers, or rather their providers, to stay alive as long as possible. Every spring, on the night of the Sabbath, they organize a festival on Bald Mountain during which they bless all the inhabitants of Velen. On this occasion, they distribute magical acorns, but in small quantities, so that not the entire land can enjoy their blessing. Their servants must have a reason to continue worshipping the ladies. In the past, the witches walked among the people, listening to their problems and requests, but those days are gone. Now, every year, 3 young individuals have the honor of meeting the witches in person and starting a new life with new names. They return from the summit of Bald Mountain but always leave afterward, disappearing without a trace. I assume they were simply devoured, and the ladies of the wood using polymorph would then only make appearances to reassure the common folk and give them a glimpse of what they expected.